All right. All right. Well, get ready to explain that all over again. Yeah. Get ready.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Friday night's edition of Sports Dummies. We are here live tonight with Matt and Mike. Full slate ahead, 33 percenters over here. And we are going to be talking about all things sports related, NFL, college, injuries, news. The biggest news that we were just slightly talking about, just about to get our hands into, and that Matt was kind of explaining to us, which he's going to do all over again for all you lovely people, is how the NBA just got busted for major gambling in the sports world, which is a big illegal no, but also a legal yes. But in the terms of you taking off the top of the house, that's a big no. So, Matt, explain to me and everybody else, because again, I heard that the mafia was involved. I didn't hear which mafias. You have a theory that it might be the Russian mafia and or the Italian mafia as well. So what did you hear and what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, well, all the it's the Italian mob. They run all the gambling here, obviously, in this country. That's always been their network. So they 4 of the 5 families still operating within the mafia system, La Cosa Nostra. Have been indicted in this, and some important NBA players as well. Chauncey Billups being an active NBA coach. Now, there's different levels of this. There was a game fixing allegations, which involves Terry Rozier. At least to this point, it's early in the investigation. I think a lot more names are going to come out at some point soon. They're just the federal government doesn't mess around. They've got an indictment on you. I think the success rate for indictment at that point is like 99%. So they're not going to spend several years and all that money and whatever and not have something. So they're going to be careful with this, especially who all's involved, and they're going to get more information. So as of right now, some big names: Chauncey Billups, active coach NBA Portland; Damian Jones, ex-player. Um, the levels at which it were set up was on from the basketball side. There was some potential information let out for fixing games, unders in particular with Rozier underperforming. He took himself out of one particular game. That's one side of the basketball. The second side of it was, and I've been arguing this for years because from a fantasy perspective, you don't get lineups released in the NBA until basically tip. So there's no advantage from a gambling perspective, basically, to know who's in, who's out. And it's shady at times. So, you hear all these guys getting rest days and this guy getting a whatever. So it's kind of shady. And, as we know, gambling and sports are pretty much synonymous at this point. That
Mm-hmm.
information is crucial.
Right.
What's happening is that these coaches and other players, they know ahead of time who's playing, who's not playing. They're in the locker room. So they were getting this information out ahead of time. Such and such guy's not playing. Such and such, 3 or 4 guys are going to rest. It's a load maintenance call or whatever it is. So all of a sudden, where the line was, let's say, normally at -7 or whatever it was, +7 before, now it jumps to 13 or 14. But you've got that information in your pocket. So that's the basketball side. Then there's a poker side, where real quickly they were using electronic devices to basically rig the games. And this is where, again, the mafia comes into play and what they were doing. It's extensive, it's far-reaching, and it's a huge black eye for the NBA because they had Rozier 2 years ago, and they had all the information on him, and they did their diligence and they did their investigations, And the NBA, of course, because we've seen this in other sports, at the time decided that, you know what, we're going to just kind of let this, we're going to deal with this our own way and, again, just kind of put it aside. Well, now that's being brought to light as well. So what did the NBA know at that point 2 years ago? Situations didn't change, same people, same players, that were involved in all of this, doing the same things. So this is not good. This is the tip. And then again, do you feel bad? I don't know if I feel bad necessarily. These leagues are making a killing off of these FanDuels and DraftKings. We all do it. This is what we're talking about every week.
Yep.
So I don't want to sound hypocritical, but when it comes to ethics and when it comes to the amount of money involved on all different sides, from just the average Joe Blow to guys betting, for a living on doing these things. This is a big deal for sports in general and the whole landscape of sports gambling and fantasy sports and everything else.
Well, it wasn't even that long ago, too, that they had a referee from the NBA or from college or whoever it was that would just got arrested or something like that. This was like, what 5 years ago or something like that, the NBA that had this happen? And, it's just like, wait, the NBA taking another hit when it comes to this gambling stuff.
Yeah. I think, Matt, you hit on that big time. They circled back. They knew something was up with Rozier. So they kept an eye on him for 2 years, then finally came forth. So they must have got more evidence, talked to more people. If you remember, who was a player last year who was suspended for life?
Oh, Deontay Johnson?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Deontay Jones? Yeah. Suspended for life last year. Yeah. So this is a problem in the NBA. It seems to be a problem in Major League Baseball. He's trying to cover that up with Ohtani, which we know about. And it's been a problem. Listen, if you remember when we were in our younger years, Chris Herron from BC shaving points, it was a big thing on ESPN. He shaved numerous games that people knew about. People made a ton of money off of. He was star guard for BC, and some games he shit the bed, and people knew what was going on. Michael Jordan was accused. My favorite basketball player of all time was accused of being involved in some sort of point scandal, if you guys remember.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and that's the one sport. Basketball, man, that's the one sport it's easier to do it than most. Just because you have the ball in your hands, and Rozier, the evidence shows that he like you said, he told people he was going to come out of the game after 7 minutes or 8 minutes. He had a stat line of 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals when his over of that game was 29 points total. So it's combined points, steals, and assists. So it's pretty fascinating but you said this is the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more out there coming. I'm going to be watching it pretty close to see what's going to happen. But the NBA has egg all over its face, which is insane. It's not getting any better anytime soon.
No. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest. This is probably one of the biggest ones that has happened probably recently. I mean, Calvin Ridley got busted. He was suspended for a year.
Right.
But I think probably the most notable, other than this one, because we don't even talk about Calvin Ridley anymore. But I guess the most notable recently has been Pete Rose and baseball.
And Matt, do you remember the game show that I went to Broward County? Yeah. I had to argue why Pete Rose should be in when I still think he shouldn't. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, kind of funny.
That is funny. Wow, what a memory. Yeah. This is the deeper this gets in terms of the how many more people, bigger names get involved. The more hypocrisy you're going to see from the NBA trying to protect itself and distance itself from whatever it is they feel necessary that's expendable. Similar to the Ohtani interpreter, he was the expendable one because, again, I don't know if you guys saw that thing I sent you, the graphic. The Dodgers this year in Major League Baseball have already made what they're paying Ohtani is for the full length of his contract, the $700 million this year.
Right, that's insane. When you sent me
this year, okay, yeah. Do you think they didn't know that?
All right.
Right.
When they put all this together, you didn't
Right.
think they knew he was the golden goose right now? You know, that the fact of he could basically shoot the president right now and they would blame it on somebody, you know, if they could do that. So gambling, sure, that was easy, right? So same thing here. Yeah, no different
than 10 strikeouts. I mean, come on.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's no different in the NBA. But what they're going to do is once they get these people, again, who they deem expendable, they're going to drop the hammer because they want to look like that, you know, we're the sheriff, we're doing the right thing, and look at us, and we don't tolerate this behavior bullshit. And it's just going to all be a farce because, like we said, these sorts of things, they don't just happen in a day. And there are so many hands in the pot that, you know, somebody knows something. You know, I was listening to Nick right there on his show, and he's a poker player on the side, considering himself semi-professional. And that's a very tight circle of people, very knowledgeable and very aware of their own kind of, you know, environment. And they knew these games were going on in certain circles. So if these guys knew what was going on, how other people did not know what were going on, especially somebody like the NBA that was doing a full investigation. So it's just whatever. Just hold on because the hypocrisy is coming, and they'll be slamming the door on some of these guys, and rightfully so. But you know, don't think that the NBA is all high and mighty because they're doing the right thing, because they had their chance and they blew it, just like baseball and probably football and all these other sports that are hand over foot dependent upon this. But yet, when the rules are broken, oh, we didn't see anything, no different than steroids, no different than anything else. So it's just a whole bunch of crock. That's the world we live in. So,
Unfortunately. So,
well, we got football to talk about.
yeah, now we're going to transition out of things that we don't normally talk about into things we do normally talk about. And boys, let me just tell you, I'm looking at some of these spreads. Good God. Good God. Are we in for a world of hurt this weekend?
I haven't looked at any, so I'm interested. When we throw the numbers out, I'm going to be very interested.
Yeah, some of them are very interesting. Like the average so far, just within the 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 games, 8 games, is like an average of 6.5.
Wow. Big spread weekend.
Oh, massive spread weekend.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, big time. And we're on a very, very short week in terms of how many teams we have going. We got 6 teams on buys this week, fellas.
Wow. Wow.
6 teams on buys. There's a lot this week. So we're down 3 games. So it's going to be a short list that we get a chance to go through.
Matt, do you see how quick Chaz did that? 6 teams, 3 games. Pretty impressive.
His shoes are probably off too. Get some help. 1, 4, 7. That's okay. We'll get there. Hey, we work as a team. So if one of us is deficient in some way, we help with the others. Mike, we're still helping you. So.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. I need it.
You guys didn't see it, but I counted the eyelashes on my eye for reference.
Whatever you got to do, my friend.
I put the answers right here.
There we go.
Made a little note and just right there. Got them. So let's look no further. Well, the one thing I do want to say is that Mike finally found something, and he found himself a defensive touchdown last week.
I did.
Yeah. So I know. Welcome to the party. So welcome to the party, pal. So we me and Matt are tied at 2. Mike, you get on the board with 1. And
thank you, Tua. Thank you, Tua. That was a hand-given touchdown.
Again, did you see the replay? It was just so funny.
It was brutal.
McLovin was just like, get out.
Yeah,
get out.
Yep.
Get out. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's jump into this. We'll start with because there's not really any other news going on in the NFL at the moment. So here's a fun fact before we start this. Every time the Blue Jays have made the World Series, the Bills won the AFC. So take that into consideration. And that's baseball talk. Moving on. Yeah, and that was baseball.
Okay.
Moving on. First game we have on the series is the Miami Dolphins taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are at home, and they're going to give Atlanta 7.5. And the over.
You would give Miami.
Yep. Atlanta is giving 7.5 to Miami at 44.5 over under.
Wow.
Yes. Matt, I haven't heard anything my way. Have you heard anything about Tua being benched for this game?
No, I don't think he's being benched because there's no going back from that, and they're not ready to sink the ship yet. Even though it's been sunk, the game 7, they're not ready to do that. So, maybe the writing's on the wall for Tua and the Dolphins, but again, like myself, most people that were kind of had the finger on the pulse knew that this wasn't going to sustain. It wasn't. It was never, after the first year, defenses sort of caught up, coaches sort of caught up, I don't know, maybe the direction of the team. You started hearing a lot of players that were leaving the organization didn't have anything good to say. Most don't when they leave. But still, just a disconnect between coaching and between players. And you're seeing it this year. Everybody now is saying it. Players on the team are saying it. Still playing for McLovin. So it's a mess. But he's still there. They're going to play it out.
But here's my question. I mean, granted, the team is in a complete and utter disarray. But wouldn't you want to see what you had in Quinn Ewers back? That's down there, and maybe see that if it maybe that's your future, because it doesn't sound like Tua is the future. Sounds like Tua is probably going to get an exit when McLovin decides it, or when he doesn't decide, but when he is cast from that island as well.
Whenever the official decision is made, when they're going to let McLovin go, that's when you'll start to see player personnel changes. Because right now, at this point, the coaches still make the decisions in terms of personnel on the field week to week. So he's not going to be, lessening his chance to win even further by experimenting with, Ewers at this point. It's just not going to work because, again, he still has the job. So, but again, once that switch is made, to me, that's the call. So that's where you're going to be like, okay, all right, well, the conversation has already been had, maybe just inside the building, but everybody's sort of going in a different direction starting today, and it's just not ready. So back to the game. For me, the problem with the Dolphins is their defense is just terrible. I think they have the second worst DVOA against the run, and Bijan Robinson is probably the best running back in football. So bad combination there. I'll take the Falcons, and they'll probably score enough points themselves as long as Penix doesn't turn the ball over 3 or 4 times. That's always a crapshoot still at this point, but I think he'll get better. So give me Falcons and give me the over in that game. Dolphins are done. It's over.
Not that I think it would have any bearing on what you just picked, but Penix right now is still questionable. We're not 100% that he's going.
Okay.
I think that benefits Atlanta.
Right. But like I said, I don't think it should sway you in any type of way. I don't think it should sway you in any type of way, because I think if Penix is getting benched, you're getting if not an equal but better veteran behind him. The only thing is with Kirk being behind him is maybe he doesn't have the game speed as of right now, but he probably find it by halftime. And when you got a guy like Bijan Robinson in the backfield, Mike, we talked about this on Tuesday. Give your star the ball, right? You should be running him like you run CMC over in San Francisco. You should be giving this guy almost 45 touches a game. Putting him at 25 touches out of the backfield, and at least 10 to 15 maybe out of the catching the ball or something like that. I mean, this guy's dynamite, and he should be more involved in this offense more than he has been. I mean, for me, Matt, I think you've already taken Atlanta. I didn't hear your over under, but I'm also going to take Atlanta, and I'm going to go the over on this one.
Yeah, I was over as well.
Okay, so me and you were both riding on the same thing, Mike.
I'm with you guys. Atlanta the over. I don't see this game, even though I still don't trust Atlanta.
Right.
Miami's they're a mess. They
Yeah.
are a mess. They're going nowhere quick. Probably going to be in the talk for the number one overall seed. Draft pick. If Atlanta blows this one, I'm done with them. 30-0 loss to Carolina was one thing, but losing to Miami, this game shouldn't even be competitive. So give me Atlanta the over.
Sounds good. The next one on the list is another just absolute shit show, and that's the New York Jets, and they're going to Cincinnati to face another shit show. But Mike, again, surprising here. The Bengals are giving 6.5 to the Jets, and the over/under is also at 44.5. Little notes about the Jets. We have no idea who the quarterback is going to be on Sunday. Aaron Glenn has not came out and said publicly whether he's going to change quarterbacks or not. It's still undecided. Sauce Gardner, he's out. Garrett Wilson is out for this game. And on the defensive side for Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson is questionable. So not that it mattered last week anyway, but another one of the things is their linebacker, Logan Miller, I believe that's his name, starter, or at least Logan Wilson. He wants a trade. He wants to get the hell out of there. So Chalk got up to another linebacker, another defensive man that wants to get the hell out of Dodge in Cincinnati. So
I'll take this one, guys.
Yeah.
Give me Cincinnati over.
Yep.
No Sauce Gardner with those two wide receivers. I think Cincy could put 30 up on that Jets defense. It was not very good. I still think give me 30-17. I like the over. I think the Jets will score enough points to push it over. So out of the 23 targets that Chase had against the Steelers, 17 were down and outs. That's it. Very simple patterns. And we had 16 catches. So obviously they found something. And with him and T. Higgins together, guess what?
Right.
I think they'll keep doing it. And Chase Brown got started again. So Cincinnati could turn into the offense we thought they could be. So.
Yeah. I don't think there's any reason why I'm not going to ride with you on this one either. So I'm the same.
I'm also the same, and I'm on the under, only because the Jets are just so bad. And if the Bengals are going to build any momentum on that side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, this would be a week to do it. Flacco, 100 passer rating his last 2 starts, 5 touchdowns. I mean, at this point, it's just, he simplifies the offense. He's seen everything. That's easy. You've been in the league for 100 years. Obviously, nothing gets by you. But what he does best is he's going to throw the one-on-one ball. And like we said, with Higgins and Chase, there's always matchup issues. So one of these guys is going to be open, or at least on a one-on-one situation. So guess what? He's throwing the football. Chase, what is it, Chase? 36 targets the last 2 weeks? I mean, it's insane. So the Jets are
and you should also go deep if you've done with both of those guys. So,
And again, they really haven't clicked on offense yet because they've been, I don't say struggling at the quarterback position, but it's been transition. Now this is the first real full week where, okay, Joe's our starter. This is how we're going to run our offense. This is what we're going to, and again, if they game script, what better team are they going to be able to game script against to what they think they want to do than against the Jets? I mean, really, are the Jets going to, all of a sudden, be good on defense? I think it's a huge Chase Brown game. That's why I'm leaning more in the under, because I think the Bengals at some point are just going to not have to score.
So I like the Bengals here, but I like the under in this game. So I just think the Jets and the Dolphins could be the two worst teams in the league, and the Raiders possibly, but the Raiders have one or two more skill position players. But that's the three worst teams in the league, in my opinion. Is two of them are in the same division. So.
Okay, good deal. The next little bit, another crazy game here. Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots. Browns are getting 7.5. The over/under set at 40.5. 40.5.
Mike, when you're done, when you're ready.
Yeah, somebody else starts it because I don't know yet.
I love the Browns in this game. Oh, I love the Browns.
I was leaning that way too.
Both these teams are defensive minded. That total suggests that 40.5. But the Patriots, the way they run that offense, it just seems like Vrabel's comfortable enough to just always beat you by about a touchdown. You know, because they play close to the vest. They don't take a lot of chances. I mean, obviously May's been amazing, but still offensively, they just seem to be a team that's comfortable running the ball in situations, and just that's their identity, I think. So I don't know. The Browns, their defense is just really, really good. I mean, we've seen it all year. So, and then maybe they're getting a little momentum on offense. I mean, Jenkins has been really, really good, but it's tough to run on the Patriots. That's going to be an issue. I think the Patriots are the only team in the league that have not given up a 50-yard rusher, 50 yards total to a rusher this year. So, and Jenkins has been the popular name the last few weeks. I wouldn't be necessarily excited about playing, Jenkins this week against the Patriots. So that being said, I still like the Browns. So Browns in the under at 7.5 is just a lot of points for a team that's one or two in the league in defense, and you're going to give them more than a touchdown? No, I'm out.
In the under?
Browns in the under.
Okay.
Like 13-9, somebody.
This is a tough one, man. That's a lot of points. Damn.
I agree.
I have to, man. I'm going to take Cleveland in the over in this one.
Okay.
I like Judkins to score maybe 2 touchdowns again. The Browns defense is, Drake May has had a good year, but they turn the ball over a lot in New England, and not that I'm saying the Browns get another defensive touchdown, but, I could see them coughing up 2 or 3 times where Cleveland has a short field and can put some points on the board. And I'll tell you, Gabriel's played pretty well as a starter, The kid seems to protect the ball, so that's good for Cleveland.
Yeah.
I will take Cleveland in the over in this one.
Mike, I'm on you with that. I'm on Cleveland in the over as well. I think that I like the half point. I like the hook, because if they do lose by that touchdown, at least I have that hook. So I like the hook in this one. I'll be honest. I obviously thought and still think that the Patriots make the playoff. But I think the Browns win this game outright. Just have a feeling. I don't know. I mean, granted, like you said, Mike, New England turns the ball over a little bit more than they should, and that is to do with Stevenson in the backfield. He's
Right.
had like 8 fumbles already this year.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, like you said, Vrabel favors him. He doesn't really, for whatever reason, want to pull him out, even though Henderson is just as good, if not better, as a back. So, I think if you're going to stick with the guy that ends up trying to hurt you in the long run, I think this is where I could see a catastrophic turnover happening and Cleveland taking control of that. And Dylan Gabriel, he doesn't look bad. I think he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good for what he's got around him.
You're right. You're right. He doesn't look bad.
No.
Actually, the 3 rookies in Cleveland, Gabriel, Fannin, and Judkins look really good for them.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, I'm on
Remember,
the Browns.
if they get any semblance of offense on that team, I mean, the way how as good as their defense is going to be, it's just going to support their balance. and make them a tough out every week, because that's who they are.
Defense,
It's first team to 21.
Right.
In that sort of mentality. And in most cases, that's what's going to happen, unless they turn the ball over, which they will at times, or other things. But, script to script, mano a mano, all their games should be, 21-20, 19-17. That's how they play. That's the talent on that defensive side. So.
I agree. The next one I got is a divisional game. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants are getting 7.5, and the over/under is set at 43.5. And if you remember correctly, wasn't that long ago that the Giants beat the Eagles outright?
Yeah, they sure did. What's going on with A.J. Brown? This injury thing's a little bit boutiquey to me.
He's out.
It doesn't seem right. No, I know he is, but it went from not being serious to he can't play. Well, and I have a theory. It's kind of tinfoil.
I mean, if you remember correctly, that's what they did with us with CMC all last year. It's not bad. It's not bad. All of a sudden, boom, he's on IR for the rest of the year. So who knows? But as of right now, he's out for this game, and so is Cam Jurgens.
Tinfoil hat, ready? Tinfoil hat.
Listen, tinfoil is too expensive, man. Don't say that, okay?
AJ Brown is going to get traded. AJ Brown is going to get traded.
They can't trade a hurt player.
Well, okay, but maybe he's just hurt for this week because all of a sudden he popped up on the injury report. He's going to get traded. This week is a Barkley week, in my opinion. They're going to try and get him going the best they can against his former team. Kind of makes sense. And then you saw the week Devontae Smith had last week. And obviously, Goddard is the comfort for him, and as it will always be for Jalen. And I think that's enough offensively, especially when they're thinking what they can get in return for AJ. And I just think there's other disconnect issues that have been going on for a while that may come out once this eventually happens. So, tinfoil hat, sit him for this week. Oh, something hurts. Next week, we're going to start hearing about where he's going. That's just my opinion. So, anyway, that's how I feel. I think the Giants win this game. How about that? After the Eagles, I think they're over their heads right now on a few different levels. I'm going to go back to what I said originally about Sirianni. I've never been a Sirianni guy. And even though, again, you can manipulate stats like, oh, he's got this phenomenal road record and all these other things. We've heard all the Tomlin bullshit stats for years. There's something missing there. And I think the Giants are building something there with Dart and Scatterboo. And they smacked them in the mouth before, and they could smack them in the mouth again, especially if the Eagles are not ready. And I think they're going to try and showcase Barkley, but it's been bad for 6 weeks. Do you think he's all of a sudden going to be good? Like all of a sudden he's going to be able to return to form and run for $180? I don't think so. So not against the Giants front. I think they're a little better than that. So Giants are inside the number. Maybe they don't win. Maybe it's ugly and the Eagles find a way, but because they're better, I think overall, better roster. But 7.5 points, man, the Giants got that on the board right now in the locker room. So I'll take the Giants here. The game goes over. Giants over. Pretty easy for me.
Good.
You're up, Chaz.
I'm up.
Yeah.
I love the Giants getting 7.5. I love this young core that this Giants team has. With Neighbors, even though that he's out, but he's still hyping these guys up, I'm sure, on the sidelines. Jackson Dart, who we all pretty much saw on draft day and all salivated at the opportunity of potentially getting him, and we're seeing why. Cam Scatterboo is turning out to be a reincarnated Peyton Hillis / Mike Allstott type of player. This defense with Sexy Dexy in there and Thibodeau and Abdul Carter. They're, like you said, Matt, they're building something great for the future, and it's starting to pay off a little bit now. And this team could get scary real quick in the next year or two. And they're showing remnants of it now. Eagles are still kind of on that schneid where we just don't know what in the world they plan on doing on offense. They can't seem to get Saquon moving like they did last year. I don't know if it was because guys are out of place. We obviously, like I said, Cam Jurgens is going to be out for this game. Dickerson has been banged up all year, so that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, the Giants getting 7.5, I love it. I'm taking the Giants all the way. Divisional game, I expect it to be tight, but I think it went over the last time they played, if I'm not mistaken. And
it did, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take the under on this one this time. I think this one's going to be a sloppy one. It's going to be in Philly too, so I think this one's going to be a sloppy one. So I'll take the Giants. I'll take the under.
Two additional quick notes on that game. You mentioned, what's going on with Barkley. The tape says he looks a bit slower. Listening to, Coach Sell and others, it just that explosiveness seems to be a little bit missing, or the offensive line too is just not as effective as they were last year. And here's an interesting note about Jackson Dart. We all like him. We all kind of wanted him. I think he's a Steeler as a quarterback. He's been playing really well. He's been in the tent in every game so far this year. One of these games, he's not coming out of that tent, okay? And that's a problem in a way because you need your quarterback on the field, all right? We've seen Russell Wilson play, and the magic ends the moment he steps back on the field. So Jackson Dart, as reckless and as excited and as whatever other adjectives you want to use for his style of play, needs to understand that his health is the priority and that he cannot afford to be in the tent in every game as a quarterback. It doesn't sustain. So he's got to fix that. The Giants have to fix that. And that's something that has to be addressed. He's not a quarterback. He's not a big guy either. So, there's some potentials, downfalls for me, pitfalls at least, that they need to be aware of. He needs to be aware of moving forward.
So just to piggyback off you, Matt, and speaking how Dart can't stay out of the medical tent, well, neither can anybody on the Giants staff can stay out of the medical tent because they just got fined $200K as a team, $100K to Dabo, and $15K to Scattaboo for that debacle that they had with the medical tent on Sunday or Monday night or whatever that was.
Did I miss something?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Jackson Dart goes into the tent for a possible concussion, and Dabble is trying to figure out whether he wants to go for it on fourth down or if he's just going to punt it, and he's trying to wait to see if the medical staff is going to hurry up, check him out, and get him out of the tent. Well, he ends up going over.
Hands on body. He had hands on body in the tent.
Yes.
Like
he goes into tent. Like, if you know anything about this, you are not allowed to go near the tent when a player is in there. You're just not.
Right.
Nobody's allowed in there except for medical personnel.
Right.
Well, him went over there to try to figure out, hey, what's going on? Is he in or is he out? Because if he's out, I got to punt it. If he's in, I'm going for it. That was the story that they gave us. So they find the Giants organization $200K. They find Dabble $100K, and they find Cam $15K because he kind of went over to the tent as well to see what was going on, and so they pretty much find everybody.
Yeah, I must have been on a rock. I didn't see any of this. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a big ordeal. It was a very big ordeal.
Yeah, of course, especially so if these guys weren't so young, last week's a crushing blow to a football team. How they lost that game. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
But since they're so young and since they're so young, and I love what they're building, it's tough not to root for that team, honestly. And I think you guys have been hitting on it today. The Eagles just seem to have some kind of Super Bowl hangover. They just don't look right. You know what I mean? Offensive line's hurt. Saquon didn't get hit. Well, he got hit at 2.3 yards this year. First contact last year was like 4.7. So that tells you a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
7.5 is a big point. Division game, it's big. No AJ Brown, no Jurgen. I mean, man, I gotta go. I can't believe this. This is 4 straight games we're picking the same team. Something's wrong, or we're gonna win big this week. I'm taking the Giants in that 7.5. That hook looks great to me.
Give me. What's interesting about that line? Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Since the AJ Brown news, the line hasn't moved. It's the same line.
Wow. Interesting.
7.5. So what does that tell you? I mean, in terms of the AJ Brown value. Now, a wide receiver typically is not going to influence a line.
Yeah, but a point would make sense. I mean, come on.
Something, right? If anything,
to me,
it's where the money goes. It's not even necessarily Vegas going, well, AJ Brown is worth 0.8 points. No, it's people would go, oh no, AJ Brown line hasn't moved. Money on the Giants. Money on the Giants.
Right.
That would move the line also. That's not happening.
Right.
So now maybe tomorrow, maybe into the weekend, it changes. Like that could happen. Something to monitor. But I think that's another little tell. Like I said before, that maybe we're already starting to forget about AJ Brown in Philadelphia. So I don't know, a little something there, a little something.
To me, I just think that they kind of knew that AJ wasn't going to play in this game to begin with. And when they made these lines, they already had an idea that he wasn't going to be in it.
Maybe Chauncey called. Chauncey was like, hey, I got some information for you. Here's what you need to do. So,
I mean, at this point, at this point, why would we think otherwise?
Yeah.
We just don't know. This could go.
Damian Jones. Excellent.
Yeah, this can go. Yep. This can go very far. Who knows? Mike, we didn't get your over/under on that one. Dickhead Matt cut you off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under in this one.
Okay.
I actually have a feeling with the weather being cold, to me, it was a sloppy game. I think the Eagles want to get that running game going. I think they want to keep it play close to the vest. So I see a low-scoring 21-17 game, 21-17, very close. So that hook could be the keeper, 23-20 game. I just like the Giants there. So.
Yep. All right, we don't change too much here. We just changing teams. It's going to be Buffalo and Carolina. We're in Carolina, and Buffalo is giving 7.5 to Carolina. Over under is 46.5.
I think one of my top 5 predictions in one of our first shows before the Dummies was the improvement of the Carolina Panthers. I think I had them doubling their win total from the year before, like 4 to 8 or something like that. Just because, again, I was counting on the coach, I was counting on the quarterback, that relationship getting better and stronger, and then them finding themselves along the way, getting better. They were terrible defensively. They're better now. It's only been a year removed from the worst defensive team in the league. And guess what? They're no longer the worst defensive team in the league. Some of the other big name teams, like the team they're playing, Buffalo, who can't stop the run either, they're in for it this weekend. Buffalo better score 30 in this game because they're going to need to keep up, I feel like, because I think Carolina's going to be efficient. I think they're going to be able to move the football. So I love Carolina in this game as a home dog. And especially, again, another big spread. We talked about it all, 7.5 points. It's crazy. Give me the Panthers.
Andy Dalton starting, right?
What's that?
Andy Dalton starting. You know that, right?
I don't care, really, honestly. I just think, again, Buffalo can't stop the run. I mentioned the Dolphins being 3rd worst DVOA. I think the Bills are 2nd worst. They are terrible against the run. And we've seen Dowdle, as good as he's been the last couple of weeks. Also, Hubbard now coming back a little healthy. Those guys are going to be pounding the football. And again, I think they make enough plays. So this is also a McMillan game for me, fantasy-wise. I love the Panthers. I don't even care. Red Rocket, let him quarterback. This would be the story of the grandpa quarterbacks this year between Flacco and Dalton, and even Wentz occasionally has shown some signs. Whatever, give them to me anyway. I don't care. Panthers in the over in this game. Watch out for a win. Panthers could win this game.
Buffalo destroys Carolina. Not even close. Good thought, Matt. Hit your head one more time with that. Your eating your nasty ass candy bars and wearing your full hat. Okay, mark for mark. Give me Buffalo. They're gonna put up 34-40 themselves. This game's 40-14. Buffalo destroys them. Cook has a big game. Josh Allen has a big game. Matter of fact, write it down. Second week in a row, Buffalo getting a defensive touchdown because the Red Rockets giving it up. But give me Buffalo defensive TD.
Is it 100% that Andy Dalton's playing?
I said Ron Howard. He looked like he might start, but yeah, probably. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Mike, you were cutting in and out there, but yes, he was. As soon as he came out last week, I think Monday morning, Tuesday morning, they said Bryce Young's out, Dalton's starting.
It's a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, high ankle.
Let's go.
Mike, I'm with you. Give me Buffalo. I think they cover. I think they end up hitting the over on that just by themselves too. Mike, you took the over as well, correct?
Yeah.
All right, we're all on the over.
Line at all. Wow.
I'm not saying that Carolina can't figure something out, but I just nope, not against this team.
Carolina wins this game. They're first in the division. That's insane. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm just saying if they do, and crazier things have happened in the NFL, they're 5-3. So that's crazy to me. But anyway, it's the NFL. You just never know.
I mean, they've beaten one team that's decent. They beat Atlanta. They destroyed Atlanta. They beat Miami. They beat the Jets. They did beat Dallas, so that's impressive. But I just think Buffalo just thumped them, especially after a bye week. Buffalo thumps them.
The key for me in this game is their defense has been playing better. And if they can somewhat, they're not going to control Buffalo's offense or Josh Allen, but if they can limit Josh Allen to a degree or even create a turnover, get something in their favor, they're at home, they're undefeated at home, they're going to be playing up in this game. You know, a momentum change in the third quarter in a game like this is not out of the script. And they're good enough to where they can hold the lead because Buffalo, like we said, cannot stop the run. So if Carolina's in a plus script where they're protecting a lead and they're running the football, Buffalo's going to have to nut up and find a way to stop it. You know, so
two words for you. Their defense, they stink. If I'm watching this game and I have the runs, I'm going to change my shorts in the third quarter because this game's going to be a blowout. So just letting you know.
That's not where you're changing your shorts. You're going to have your own blowout. So just be careful.
Are we doing a top 5 or no?
I got about 3 of them on my top 5. That's about all I got right now. I'm still trying to think as we go along.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Well, it doesn't have to be a clear top 5. We can just go through and make a list and see if things that we remember in our lifetimes. I'll throw one out right now because for me it's pretty easy. When Payne Stewart died in that plane crash, there were so many questions about what had happened. And you're thinking to yourself, this is in 1999. So this is kind of pre-internet in a way. It's like just starting. So the information is kind of scarce. And you're thinking to yourself, is this possible? Like, how could a guy that's got that much power and that much fame be on the top of his game die in a plane crash that it wasn't even the crash that killed him? It was an altitude issue and it was an oxygen issue. And it just, none of it made any sense to me at the time, how that could happen. And then there was issues of potential foul play. And then there was questions about the ex-wife and all this other crap. And in the end, it came out, it was just error. And a guy, again, probably one of the better golfers in that generation at that time, lost his life tragically because of a plane accident. And it's just, at the time, I remember it, kind of struck me a little bit. Tiger was just now getting going. The golf was starting to go. And then you got kicked in the ass with that. And it just sucked. So that's all. So that was one of the things that I remember, from, again, not a pleasant memory for me in terms of a sports tragedy.
Does this have to be about sports?
No.
It could be about life. It could be anything, really.
Yeah, one that comes to mind instantly when you mentioned the list was the NASA Challenger when it exploded. It was a snow day for me when I was in grade school, and it so happened Krista McCullough was one of the astronauts, and her uncle was teaching at my grade school in Fort View. Yeah. So I remember watching it on TV, coming in from playing in the snow, and the Challenger blew up on live TV. Like one of the first televised launches they ever had, and it blew up on TV. I remember like it was yesterday. It's because of snow day and clear as day. Just devastating. Crazy.
I remember we were outside. Our teacher took us outside to watch it. And as soon as it exploded, everybody was in shock. And then the teachers immediately just had us go back inside. And they made an announcement that they were going to let us out early that day. I think they let us out early that day.
Right. Were you what, 5th or 6th grade?
No, it was high school, Mike. It was high school. Yeah, I'm in 10th grade, so it was 86.
No, not 10th grade. We had to be in 6th or 7th grade. You were probably 25 then in 6th or 7th grade, but yeah.
Mike, 1986. That's what it was.
We were in 9th or 10th grade.
Yeah. I was in 10th grade. I'm telling you, I was in the hallways, and I remember, where I was because I used to get in fights in those hallways. So it was 1986. And I was a sophomore in high school. I remember outside, and they brought us inside, and they made the announcements, and I remember going home early that day. So yeah, it was that was an awful time for sure.
Yeah. You're up, Chaz.
Jimmy Hoffa, where's he at? How come we can't find him?
I know where he is.
I mean, you would think at this point in time. You would think at this point in time, with all the technology that we got.
No technology. This is where he is. He's done. They'll never find him. What they did was they put him in a car. They shot him. They put him in a car. First of all, he got shot in the car. He never got out of the car. And then they crushed the car. And when they crushed the car, they crushed it to the point where there is no DNA evidence. There's nothing. And then they disposed of whatever little tin box they have left of the car. And they'll never find him. That's how that was set up. And that was collaborated from 2 different sources. So don't ask me how I know that. But anyway, the point is that he's gone. Jimmy's dead, never coming back. It's been like 60 years since they killed him.
I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that Jimmy Hoffa was not dead. Okay. I think we all figured that out. But
like this, in a box. In a box. Never.
I mean, at this point, the statute of limitations is done, run out. Somebody come out and say, "Yeah, we fucking killed him."
No, he's very dead.
It was him being the strongman for the union and the mafia not liking it. I mean,
well, we know why he died. We know how he died. Right. I mean, theoretically, we know how he died, but
Yeah. But all the rumors about him being buried underneath Giant Stadium and all the bullshit—that's not true. That's not what happened.
I mean,
that's glamorous.
It would make sense as to why they're so fucking god awful in that stadium.
Yeah, well, they are cursed. So.
Right. So now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of shit I could put on this list.
Yeah, there's a ton. I know.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. Chicago Bears are getting 7.5 against the Ravens, and it's 49.5 over under.
Boy, they just think that because Lamar's coming back at 80%, that the Ravens are going to be 8-point favorites.
Jack,
7.5.
Chicago is getting 7.5.
Bro, that is so crazy to me. These lines are insane this week.
I am telling you, they're absolutely crazy. 49.5 is the over under.
Wow.
Yep, and I just grabbed. I mean, I refreshed my shit here, and it's what it's saying: 7.5. It's absolutely asinine.
Ravens are coming with a bye, aren't they?
Yeah, this actually opened at 6.5.
They've had a 6-game bye, so yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So obviously, if you don't know, Lamar Jackson is scheduled to play. He was a full participant the last couple of days in practice, so he is looking like he is playing. So yeah,
I can't imagine we're going to get out of the gate clicking offensively. You know what I'm saying? And to be a 7.5 point favorite, you have to kind of win every quarter, essentially. I mean, unless things go really lucky for you, the Broncos, and put up 30 in a quarter. It seems like a lot of points to me, guys. I'm on all these dogs. Give me the Bears because they're a good team. They're playing well, both sides. Williams, slight improvement week after week, but the coaching helps. Getting them in the right spots consistently is the difference, too. I don't know. Give me the Bears. The Bears. And 49.5. It's a lot. Under. Bears under in this game for me.
Matt, I'm following you. I'm doing Bears and under as well. I like the 7.5. I think that they actually might even win outright, to be honest with you, because they are on a sort of a hot streak the last couple games. Not to mention, Chicago's defense happens to be first in takeaways, turnover margin, and interceptions thus far.
So you're taking Chicago and the
Under.
He said
Under.
both you guys are Chicago and the under?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm breaking the string.
There you go.
I'm taking the Ravens and the over.
That's funny because you usually tuck the string. You usually don't break it. But if you want to break it this time, you can. I'm okay with that.
I think Baltimore starts their roll right now. They're not out of it. I think they're going to turn around. I think they're going to it'll be competitive for about a half. I just like Lamar coming back in a big way, putting up some points, getting Mark Andrews involved, and Henry run rapid against this team. Give me Baltimore and the over.
Okay. Baltimore and the over. You got it. You can gladly take a loss on that one, Mike. It's fine by me.
Yeah, no 16 and 14 for you this week, buddy.
Yeah. No tying us because we're gonna have 2 up on you because of this stupid pick that you just made.
I've been telling you guys, just copy me and you go 16 and 14 every week.
Yeah, I mean if you copy me, what?
You should basically wear dunce caps next week. Matt, you should wear your little foil hat, and Chad, unless he's wearing a pit hat.
Mike, if we could hear you, it'd be great.
You can't hear me?
You're
Now
you can now, but you're talking like you're talking through tinfoil.
That's his hat.
it's bouncing off.
Yep.
That's his hat.
All right, let's get into some realistic game spreads here, okay? You guys ready for that?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you still might not be. All right, San Francisco 49ers playing the Houston Texans. They're going to Houston. They're getting 2.5, and the over-under set at 42.5. How do you plead?
I think McCaffrey gets 5 touches before the game even starts.
Probably
I mean,
does.
literally, he could be. Man, they don't care. It's Christian left, Christian right. And it's 70% of his runs are between the tackles. So it's not like they're even trying to get cute. They're just like here. And he's just like, okay, I'm just going to run forward and get lots of yards and catch the ball 12 times a game as a running back. It's ridiculous what he's doing touch-wise. So it's a lot. San Fran is a better football team. The Texans, I just don't know who they are. Offensive line, terrible. Every game I watch that poor kid, CJ, running for his life. He gets no time to throw the football. And they've got talented receivers, but they don't have any time. They can't even
Not this week. Most starters are out.
Well, I know, except now this week, again, now they're fighting injuries. So it's, man, I don't know. I think the Niners are good enough to keep this game ugly and close and then just win because they're better and they're getting points. So Niners plus anything, and then 42.5 is a low total. I'm still going to go under in that game. So give me 49ers in the under in this game.
Okay. I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking the over. The Niners are going to be without Purdy and Pearsall again. And the Texans are also going to be without Nico, Collins, and Christian Kirk again. I don't think that matters for either team. We're 6 weeks into the league here. I don't think we can sit here and say I don't know who they are anymore. 49ers are a better team. They've been playing better. Houston is still just we're looking at that offensive line like what are we doing here? We got to figure out something. Um, I just I think this is where you start to see the Texans really pull away from the rest of the pack in terms of their losing streaks. I think their record's going to be pretty abysmal by the time this year's over. The Niners probably finish around 500 if my guess is correct, but they're going to win this one though. So I got no problem saying the Niners and going over on this game.
I am taking Houston in this one and the under. I think the two young rookie wide receivers from Iowa State are going to put a jolt in them. Schultz will have a decent game. Remember, McCaffrey had a huge week last week, but before last week, he was averaging like 2.9 yards a carry. I mean, but he gets his yards receiving too. He's a beast. I just think this is a Mac Jones. He's been playing great. I don't know if he can keep it up. I just think it's a very low scoring game, kind of sloppy, like a 20-19 type game. Houston went with a field goal. I'm sorry, about like 24-17, something like that. Like Houston the under. I think they break their losing streak and win this one.
You guys want to laugh real quick? I'm looking at they have ticket prices, tickets as low as for all the games. So just a few quick ones made me laugh. You can go see the Eagles for as low as $214, Eagles and Giants. The Panthers, surprising, $176 for that ticket. How about this one? Cowboys Broncos, I haven't talked about it yet, but $237. But for $22, you can go to the Saints game and get a hot dog. So it says it right here, $22 to go to a Saints ticket. Low, $22, my friend.
That's good stuff right there.
Play, and you get to bring your own bag. So, and you get a hot dog. Like I said, that's not bad. That's a hell of a Sunday right there. So, $22. You pay more for parking probably than you do to get in the stadium at that place. So, yeah.
Yeah, the ticket to get in is $22. The ticket to park your car is $500. Yeah, it's 500.
So,
and that's if you park at your house in Florida.
Yeah, that's about right.
They'll let you park at your house for $500, just so you know. All right. So since you wanted to talk about that, we can go ahead and talk about it. Tampa Bay Bucks are going to the New Orleans Saints, and they're going to give the Saints 3.5 and the over/under instead at 46.5. Mike, how do you plead?
Tampa Bay, New Orleans. What's the spread and everything?
3.5, 46.5. Tampa Bay is giving. They are feeling generous.
Yeah, Tampa Bay comes to this matchup. A lot of injuries. Bucky Irving, Mike Evans. What wide receiver am I missing there?
Godwin.
Godwin's out.
Godwin.
But they still have Baker. So give me Tampa Bay in the over in this one. That Tez Johnson, I think, is going to have a big game. So give me Tampa. But and Rashad White's he's not bad. He's a decent backup. So give me Tampa Bay in the over.
At some point, these injuries have to catch up, right? I mean, they keep gritting out wins, and they keep it's get it on my shoulders, Baker Mayfield, fourth quarter type things, and they're good enough talent-wise to win because he's been good, obviously. It's just at some point, I don't know, the wheels have to kind of fall off a bit. Middle of the season, we're starting to get to. Saints are bad, though, man. Saints are so. Kamara has been terrible. I mean, he's a shell of himself. He's been slowing down too. There's just no talent on that side of the ball. So another ugly one. I guess another win for the Bucks, but under. So Bucks and under for me in this game.
Under. Well, we're all on the Bucks. Um, I'm taking the over though as well. Uh, Regardless, you still got Baker who just wants to just huck that ball all over the field. And this Ted Johnson, we talk about, there's injuries that pop up all the time, but boy, they find people too. Ted Johnson's come out of nowhere. He looks great. He looks great. He's very shifty, very quick. I like him a lot. I like him a whole lot. And of course,
I mean, I'm not going to say he's that good, but I'm saying as a rookie, he kind of reminds me of AB with the Steelers. How shifty and how he gets open, off the line,
well, I mean, with both of these guys and their stature, they're smaller guys. I think what was AB like 5'8" or something like that. I don't think this Tez Johnson is any different. You know, I think he's about the same size, maybe an inch or two smaller here or there, but whatever. But yeah, I still like the guy, and Mbuka is just still Mbuka. But yeah, I still like Tampa in this game. I think just the Saints are just so bad.
I mean, it's just they can no longer go on just name recognition. What else? Chris Olave is even playing? Is he healthy? They did say that Taysom Hill is going to be playing this week. There's going to be a few plays in there for him. And depending on what site you're at, I think in Yahoo Sports, they still list him as a quarterback.
Yes.
What are we doing with these sites? Let's get it right. So, that matters if you're in like a super flex league or something like that where you're playing two quarterbacks. So, anyway, so fix that.
Taysom Hill came back last week.
Oh, he did play last week? Yeah. So, I don't know. They're bad. They're a bad football team.
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, we just talked about Chicago being, first in interceptions. Well, they played the Saints last week, and Spencer Rattler threw them 3 of them. So, it's hard to make your case whenever you're throwing. And here's my thing: when are they going to give up on Rattler and put in Sal?
Yeah, we talked about that on Wednesday. That's right, Chaz. Good point.
When are we going to give up on this Rattler kid? I mean, obviously we're not seeing anything good out of him. We're 1-6. We're not going to win anything, so you might as well see what you got in your house, especially before next year comes, because you're going to have to make a decision somewhere.
They knew what they had in the building. Rattler was the worst ranked quarterback coming into the season, according to PFF.
And so if that's the case, then why are we not starting a rookie? Why? Because we're worried about his confidence? Dude, it's the NFL. Your confidence is going to get blown apart almost every single week.
I don't know. I mean, we assume they know what they have in the building. Like you said, they know what they have. So it's not enough, apparently, at this point still. These teams miss on players, too, thinking they're going to be better than what they are. And all of a sudden they find out 6 weeks in, 2 months in, however long it is, that these guys are not as good as we thought. So then you're putting other players at risk.
And I get all that. It's always the what if aspect. But in terms of, let's say a Shador who you drafted in the 6th round, who you don't really give a shit about. We've clearly seen that with them taking, starting Dylan over top of him and anything like that, even though he looks so good in camp. Yeah, bullshit. But you took Tyler in the 2nd round. So why are we waiting for Tyler to come out and make his debut? What are you trying to achieve with Spencer Rattler still as your quarterback? Moral support, like a morale type thing? Like, does he have the locker room? I don't get it. I really don't. And especially as a first-year coach in Kellen Moore, like, bro, you of all people should know at this point what he is and what he isn't. What he isn't is a winning quarterback. What he is a bum. Give the kid a shot. That's all I'm saying. Just give the kid. I mean, if he falls flat on his face, fine. Falls flat on his face. But the
Right,
kid's
my
got,
thing is,
he's got to
I
learn.
think, yeah, you got to give the guy a shot, especially they're on a good football team. Give him the ball, let him take his lumps. Obviously, I don't know. Do you guys think that Rattler's the answer? I don't. I
No.
mean,
No.
right. So what's the problem? Here we are halfway through the season. Give the other guy a shot. Why not?
Yep.
If
I
anything,
agree.
get some great game
I agree.
experience this year. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
like
All right. Well, we can beat that horse until it's died twice. So, all right. This seems to be probably one of the better games that we're going to see this whole entire weekend if we get a chance to watch it, and that's the Dallas Cowboys facing the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium. I need to emphasize that it's in Mile High, and the Cowboys are going to get 3.5. The over under is set at 50 and a half, 50.5. What say you, Matt?
Everybody's going to be high on that Denver team after that way they came back last week against the Giants. I mean, that
I'm
was
not.
impressive. We've never seen that before offensively, and that's the recency bias. So I think Denver's value is a little inflated right now. Again, go back to the tape, what the tape says. Their offense has been sticky, okay, to say the least. They're also an offense that's not really throwing between the numbers. A lot of those big plays in that game last week were pretty much fade balls and allowing Sutton to go up and make a play, allowing Mims to go up and make a play. Again, you can sustain that against bad defenses, and the Giants obviously struggling on the back end. But against good football teams, there's no sustainability there. You're going to have that consistency. And again, I'm surprised with Peyton and Nick's now year two. Like, you would think there'd be a little bit more cohesiveness, and it seems to be, like I said, sticky. So that being said, the Cowboys are not. I mean, right now, Dak, I think, is the only quarterback 4 weeks in a row now where he's got 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, killing the ball, top 5 in completion percentage, top 5 in yards, top 5 in touchdowns. And ironically, their offenses, they're almost throwing them to set up the run. And that's why I think Javonte Williams is having such success. And real quick, here's the advantage. Pickens has been the X receiver. Stick him on the outside and let him do his thing, draw some attention. Lamb, they've been able to now, since he's come healthy, is put him all over the field. He's the Y. So they're using him in the slot. They're using him in motion. They're using him in creating mismatches. And Lamb is one of the best receivers in football. So I'm on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are better offensively right now. They're one of the best offenses in the league, I think. So I'll take them. Cowboys over. Another big scoring game in this game. 2 teams in the 30s.
Chaz, Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Bro, that was letting intrusive thoughts win. That's what you just witnessed right there. That was all that you got. I don't know why it just came out. Immediately, now again, you would think it's Rock'em Sock'em, but
Yeah.
I love it.
What I had in my head was Frank the Tank out of Old School.
Oh, good old school. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, that was when 100% the intrusive thoughts won. Yeah. Oh boy. Matt, I'll go after you here. I'm on the same gravy train with biscuit wheels that you are. I think Dallas, their offense is pretty dynamic at the moment, considering the fact that they got 2 stud receivers, and I hate using the word stud for one of them, but he is what he is. He's talented. He just has an attitude issue, which is why I hate him. But talent-wise, he's got all the talent in the world, which is why he's in the NFL and he does what he does right now. He's also one of the leading touchdown scorers in the league right now. Also, one of the leading yards guy in the league right now, top 3 or something like that. But if that's the case, and they have a scenario where the Giants were only able to score 32 on Denver, and Denver was able to catch up and score 33. Dallas is not going to give that opportunity, because if that's the case, they'll just score 50. And that ball is going to fly up there and weightlessness over Mile High. So yeah, Dallas is going to get 3.5. Okay, I'll take it. Over under. Yep, give me the over.
Yeah, you guys have pretty much hit all the check marks I was going to talk about, except for one guy. they also have probably the best tight end in football right now in Jason Ferguson. The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
So not to mention in that stadium, Aubrey can probably kick an 80-yard field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Dallas in the over. Keep it short and sweet.
Yep. Moving along.
Here's a stat for you for Dak Prescott, which is insanity. On play action passing this year, he's 60 for 71 with 7 touchdowns.
I'm just
completions and 71 pass attempts, 7 touchdowns in their play action.
And that's the
Dak
thing
Prescott.
too, is that their running back is just as good as their wide receivers that they got on the outside, and everybody opens everything up for everybody else. The running game opens it up for the passing opens it up for the running. I mean, they just right now, like I said, they got it made in the shade, even though that they went 3-1-1 so far. But if they keep on this trajectory, that 3-1 is going to stay 3-1, and that other 3 in the win column is just going to keep going up and up.
I remember the preseason when me and Matt we argued over the team that would make the playoffs, and I said the Cowboys, and he said you're ridiculous, you're crazy. I don't think I'm too crazy about it right now, but I thought Dak would be this good. I thought the offense would be this good, but the defense has started to play some ball now in Dallas when it needs to. I'm not saying they're a shutdown defense whatsoever, but they've started to play some defense. If they can string together a few wins, they could find themselves, sneaking in the playoffs somehow. Their offense is certainly good. Their defense isn't right now.
And that's the crazy part too that we're talking about this, because if you talk to a Dallas fan right now, that they'll tell every one of us, shut your mouth, don't say shit, because if you do, you're going to scare it. Okay. Because Dallas has had some catastrophic meltdowns at the end of the year and even in the first round of the playoffs, to where it's just like, what are we doing? Right. So, if you run into a Cowboy fan, just tell them, just be quiet. If you're quiet, you won't scare it away, and it'll keep coming back. So.
Yeah, two of them, like you said, won't talk about them at all.
Yeah.
They'll say next have a great year. That's it.
That's it. Why? Because they're terrified. They're terrified every single year.
Yeah. Yep.
So
ever since Romo. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get ridiculous again here with this spread. The next 2 out of the 3 games, the last 2 out of the 3 games here are going to be utterly ridiculous. So with the first one, we are looking into double-digit spreads. The Tennessee Titans are going into the Colts facility. They're going to play the Colts. They're going to get 14.5, and the over-under is set at 47.5. So Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, is giving Cam Ward 14.5 to start with.
Well, it makes sense that the line is like this because Tennessee's been struggling. Ward's been struggling.
I think struggling is an understatement, my friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice here. And the Colts have not been struggling. They've been, I don't want to say the biggest surprise, but they're just offensively, they're allowing Daniel Jones to do what he does best. Game call, basically single reads, keep it simple. Use his athleticism when needed, a little OPO stuff. It's working. Offensive line, top 5. Jonathan Taylor looks really good. They're just a well-balanced team, both sides. So, but that being said, divisional game, 14.5 points, it seems too easy to take the Colts in this spot. And that's the only reason why I'm not. So I'm taking the Titans. And I don't know who scores enough points in this game. If it stays under, I'm taking the under. So Tennessee and the under. We'll just go with that. So keep it simple for me.
Mike, do you think that they can bring back lobotomies?
They could try, like hell.
Because I think our friend needs it. I'm not scared of this number at all. Give me the Colts all day long. I'm taking the over. They're going to score all the points. The Colts are rolling, and there is next to nobody out on that team. So, yep, simple.
So you're taking Indy and the over?
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, that receiver, and I'm going to butcher his name for Tennessee, Ianamore. You know what I'm talking about?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
He will score a touchdown this weekend for Tennessee. Anytime touchdown prop. Boom, drop it right there. So, yep, good. I like him. Maybe garbage time, but who cares? Still pays the bills.
I'm going to give you a 4-person anytime touchdown parlay when we're all said and done.
Nice. I love it.
So if I'm not mistaken, these two teams played already this year. And the Colts won by 3 touchdowns. Is that correct?
They beat the snot out of them.
Are you all out?
Yeah. I got to go with Indy in the over. I think Simmons is out. I think it's a Jonathan Taylor game again. Danny Dimes will get his. I just think they put up 35, maybe 37. But I think Tennessee scores some points this time. But still, I think they do enough to cover. So give me Indy in the over in this one.
All right. Indy in the over. You're riding with me.
Yep.
Okay. Indy in the over. So while I'm writing this down, Mike, what do you think about the Sunday night football game with the Green Bay Packers coming into Pittsburgh to take on the beloved Steelers? And we are going to get 2.5 from the Packers. The over under set at 45.5. How do you plead?
I've been trying not to think about this game.
Well, that's tough because now we got to talk about it.
Yeah. So big thing just keeps jumping out at me about the Steelers team. We haven't beaten anybody worth a shit. We're 4-2. Haven't played really good quarterback yet. One number that keeps popping up in my head. You know, there's a reason why our defense is so bad right now. We give up 42% on third downs. That's atrocious.
Our third down defense is horrible.
You're not winning many games when you're not getting off the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I think this game's going to come down to which team runs the ball better. And that's Josh Jacobs versus Steelers defense and our offense versus the Packers. And right now, I got to be honest. You know, I've never thought I'd say this, that I have more confidence in the Steelers offense than the Steelers defense. And it's not even close. Jordan Love doesn't strike me as a great quarterback. He's solid. I think he reverted back to kind of his. I think that the Packers are kind of pedestrian. I don't think they're as good as people as I thought they were early in the year. I think the Steelers are what they are. They're 4-2. I don't think they're too good either. We have the revenge factor with Rodgers coming against the Packers. We'll sign that, which the NFL loves, by the way.
I don't think this is a
which is
revenge
not a big
thing
deal
at all.
because they're not in Green Bay. I never take that stuff into effect much, especially because one guy in a team sport, like football. But after how they played against Cincinnati, the Packers don't have that player that can beat us. But that defense, I have no confidence in. So give me Green Bay and give me Green Bay in the under in this one.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be narrative in this game for Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm going to say that I have underestimated his impact on the organization coming into the season. I had zero faith. And a large part of it was, and I defended it, not so much that I'm anti-Aaron Rodgers. It's just that I just didn't have any faith within the Steeler organization. I still don't. It's not like all of a sudden, because Aaron Rodgers is there and it seems to be working, that I all of a sudden think that it's a revival, because it's not. But I do think that he's playing pretty well.
Way to go.
And I do think that the players like him, and I do think they've bought in. And I think that
there's little blame to be put on the offense in terms of at least what they're putting on the field. I think Warren has exceeded his potential. I think he's had a good year. Certainly, Aaron Rodgers has played well. Metcalf at spots has played well. It's not the offense; it's the defense for me. There's been no consistency on the defensive side, and if they had been maybe 20% better, not even to what we expected them to be, I think it would have only made the offense better and made us even more consistent as a team. But that's not the case. So I don't know. I mean, he's got to be pissed. You know, he's going to be playing his heart out. I think we fight. I think we win this game, guys. I really do. I don't know. I'm taking the Steelers. Just why I don't think I've taken them all year. I'll take them now. They'll probably lose. So I'm taking the Steelers, and I'm taking the points at home. How do you not take the points at home? I mean, have some balls. Show some balls. Defense. Steelers and under. Hopefully the defense shows up this week a little bit and can whatever force some turnovers. You know, by the way, I think I just hit a $900 parlay baseball.
So, what?
Yeah. I'll send it to you after we close up. I'm going to make sure I got it. It was
now doesn't help.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying. I mean, it was Snell under his innings. It was Springer to score a run, and
you just hit a $900 parlay, and you think share it with us. That's what I said. So fuck him. Matt, yeah, fuck him.
Kirk just hit a 3-run home.
Stingy bitch.
Anyway.
Chaz,
yeah, what the? Huh?
Chaz, it was that wing hat. It was that hat he wore.
All right, that's all I got. Steelers and under.
Jeez Louise. All right. Mike, I disagree with you with this, the revenge game thing. This is so far removed. It's no more revenge anymore.
I think it's a revenge game. People are bringing that up.
Yeah, I think they got too much time on their hands and too much
something.
Yeah, too much of what they call a wiener in your other hand.
Right.
You know, this is nowhere near a revenge game. They're going to try to make it out to be, like you said, to give it some type of storyline. There isn't. There's nowhere near it. I mean, you know, it wasn't the team that did Rodgers wrong. It was the organization. It was Gunter Kunst. It was the higher ups that did this guy dirty. You know, it was those people. So if he's going to take revenge on anything, it's going to be on those guys. It has nothing to do with the players in that aspect or the coaches for that matter. He loves the floor. He said he has. You know, those guys talked all the time. But anyway, Mike, we always talk about the Steelers playing up to or down to their opponents. Last week we clearly saw what down to their opponents looked like. They should have blew the doors off of that team after having a quarterback show up 4 days prior to and end up coming in and whipping up on us on Thursday Night Football, which is atrocious. Don't forget, we are going to be wearing the ugliest of uniforms this weekend, just so everybody knows that as well. These are going to be our 1933 throwbacks, just in case anybody was curious.
Look like Bane. Look like the Bane Superman. Or Batman, the Bane Batman one. That's what it looked like.
The bane of my existence. How about that?
There you go.
These uniforms are atrocious. Mustardy, yellow, nasty gold pants colors. But I got the Steelers on this one. I think this game, and I got the under as well. But I think the Steelers win this game on a missed last-minute field goal. And that's how they win this game. And I think it's going to be like a 23-20 game or a 22-20 game or something like that. Like I said, they're going to win this game by default, 21-20, miss it on a last-minute field goal, and they'll end up winning this game. But I'll take the Steelers getting those 2.5 at home on a Sunday night. So we got to wait all damn day for this game to play out, and I'll take the under on this as well because it's going to be cold in Pittsburgh because it's cold as hell right now.
Yeah, it's like 37.
Yeah, it's sucked.
It snowed up in Seven Springs today. Real quick, when I was coming home tonight, they had an interesting question on Sports Talk. And to me, it was interesting only in one aspect. The question was, who's the Steelers MVP right now? There's only one name. Am I wrong saying this?
I would love to hear what you think, because I think you know who it should be if you don't say his name.
There's only one name you can mention. I don't think there's anyone else you can even think about as an MVP for this team. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not even close. No. Like, one guy called me and said Jalen Warren. I'm like, I think he's been a disappointment this year. He had a great game against Cincy, but overall, I think he's been a disappointment personally.
So that person
second probably.
That person that person thought that Jalen Warren was so good that even though he missed a game and a half, that he was that good that he still should have been MVP of the team. Go get your.
I'm like, what are you talking about, buddy?
Go get your pants fixed, okay?
Usually, halfway through the year on a 4-2 team, you're thinking, oh, there's a couple of different options. There's not. We have one guy who would be the team MVP, and that's Aaron Rodgers. That's it.
That would be my vote. That would be my vote.
Yeah. Matt?
No, it's fair. No, it's it's nobody on the defense, so it's got to be somebody on the offensive side of the ball. And I mean, who are you going to grab a guard? Is it Metcalf? No, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So, I mean, I don't even think it's close. I mean, thank God they finally got Frymouth going. Maybe that'll shed some light again this week. That would be great.
Defense needs to find an identity, and they haven't had it. So
now, let me ask you guys this: who's been the best player on that defense? I have a name in mind, but it's probably we're probably going to say 3 different names. My best player on the defense this year missed a game. Deshaun Elliott. They're a different team. I think he's played as well as Minka played the last few years. I thought he was great last year. I just don't think that TJ's been non-existent. Cam Hayward, they're getting blown off the ball. I think Harmon's played better when has been in there. Only other guy that maybe I think has had a decent season is Queen.
TJ has been doubled the most in the league, chipped and doubled the most in the league. So that's the way it should be. He should draw that attention. You would think it would make the other side of the ball that much better, and it hasn't happened. So I'm blaming everybody else on the defensive line. Yeah, I'm
not blaming TJ at all. Let me say that. I'm just saying that here's a weird thing. So last week on that last series, the last 2 series of the game, Harvard didn't even get in the game. Like, the guy played 28 snaps. I know Highsmith was back, but the guy makes plays constantly. You got to find a way to get him on the field. You know what I mean? Just really strange. Really strange. Terrell Austin and on radio, Coach Radio Tomlin, I think he's the downfall of this team. I just don't. I don't know.
I saw one screenshot of Chase catching a ball last week where there was not a Steeler literally within 20 yards of him.
It was on the last drive.
Yeah, literally 20 yards. There wasn't a player at all. And I'm thinking to myself, at this point in the game with that sort of player and knowing it's not like what happened? Did somebody fall down? Did 2 guys fall down? How do you explain that? I just don't know how to explain that.
Here's how you explain it. With what just happened in the NBA, you could almost think that it was designed that way, so points could be shaved off the score or added on to the score to hit the over, or I wouldn't be surprised that after that they do a deep dive on that game and they find out that there was some cooking in that game, because there is no damn way that guy had 23 targets and 16 catches, and we just forgot about him in the most important area of the game on fourth quarter when they're they're down by 3 points and all they need is a field goal and basically get to midfield to kick a field goal to win the game. And their most important player, who's had 15 catches at that point, is wide open with nobody near him for 10 yards all around.
Again, the same narrative we followed for the past, 10 years. No adjustments at all on that team, on offense or defense. None.
Mike,
Zero.
I've said this numerous times. You finally found the quote from Julian Edelman where he talked to former players and he said Tomlin doesn't do anything different on defense. He's been doing the same shit for 10 years, and that's why we beat his ass every single time we played him.
Did you hear the comment? Flacco said that. We knew what they throw at us.
We knew what they were going to do. We knew what they were going to do.
It's crazy.
Listen, we know every Saturday what Army and Navy are going to do. And that's okay because we know how they win football games. In the NFL, that's not an excuse. I'm sorry. You coach to your strengths. You don't coach to what you think you know because obviously you don't because you're a mutt. You don't win a playoff game in 10 goddamn years. So, I'm sorry.
Well, it's true. I've been saying it for 5 years or something. 5 years now, and it's just rinse and repeat. But whatever. Side note, I know we're wrapping up. But one way to go back to the gambling thing we talked about when we opened the show, and maybe I'm hearing a little bit of traction, but these gambling sites, maybe you get away from the shaving and all this other stuff, is do away with the unders. If you do away with the unders, then there's no way you can fall short of a particular statistic. You can't cheat on the over.
You could because they have the in-game player stats now you can bet on. Remember that on DK and FanDuel. You can bet on yards, catches, all that stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is that just bet the overs, don't bet the unders. Just try and reach a particular milestone and then wager on that milestone. Same as it is now, you just cannot bet unders. So that you cannot benefit by somebody throwing, not performing, faking an injury, whatever the reasons why to come short of a projection. If you can't over project something, you can't, inject something and all of a sudden make every shot you make and cheat that way. You can only cheat to the under, in my opinion. More now, maybe they'll find ways, but predominantly
they will.
You can cheat to the under.
They will find a way. They will find a way. If there's money on it and there's a way that you can scam it, they will find a way to do so.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it'll happen. All right, last game of the night. It's a Monday night game. It's the Washington Commanders going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs in the home of the Chiefs. Are going to give
number one offense since week 4, the Chiefs, by the way. Mahomes right now is the fastest to deliver the football in the NFL, which means this is what our plan is. You go here. It's like one of these, and it's like boom, 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 boom. They're clicking all cylinders right now. And the defense is also the story again. All of a sudden now they're playing good defense too. It's really scary. So I don't know. They're on script. Washington Commanders, is Daniels out again, right? Mariota playing. Who's quarterbacking for Washington?
Jaden Daniels.
Oh, he is going to play. I thought he was questionable. Okay, now it doesn't matter. They're inconsistent. They're not running the football. Sorry,
what's that?
Spreading the over under? I didn't get that.
I didn't say it because Mr. Jalopy up here wanted to jump the gun.
I got excited. All right, sorry. What's the spread?
No, why don't you go ahead and pick? Let's see what you do here after you go and pick, and then I'll tell you the spread.
He's picking Duke. Okay, he's picking Duke.
Chiefs and the under.
Okay. All right. Well, the Chiefs are going to. Yeah, the Chiefs are going to give 11.5, and the over/under set at 47.5.
Is that what it is?
That is the line. 47.5 is the over/under, and 11.5 is what they're giving the Commanders.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see anything about Jaden Daniels being out, but this line tells me that he is. So I'm going to go back and take a look. I'm going to go back and take a look.
I heard that he was hurt.
That's what I thought.
He was hurt, but he came back last week.
Upcoming.
Okay. I got it. Marcus Mariota will play on Sunday or on Monday.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels has been rolled out. I didn't see that. I don't know how. I don't know why, but I did not see that. So I apologize. Yeah. That is on me. But yes, Jaden Daniels is out. So there's your 11.5 and the reason as to why.
Yeah. Big number. Now, Mariota's capable. I mean, he's going to be able to move the offense. He's familiar, been there. But
yeah,
man,
I think. What do you got? What do you got? The over or the under?
Under.
Okay. All right, Mike. We're going off the rails. Washington. You got Washington. Okay, Washington in the over. I was mistaken. Okay, Washington.
That's too many points. Washington's still a good football team. Yes, they are. Listen, I don't. All your stats from KC the last 4 weeks. You're right. They've been pretty good. They've been excellent, by the way. But Washington was in that game with Dallas until the injury. But I think Mariota with a week under the belt and them designing a game plan around him, he'll keep him in it. That defense will keep him in it. They can run the football. I think they're getting back McLaurin this week. Am I correct on that one?
He is out, I believe. No, he is. Wait.
I think they're both in, aren't they?
Samuel and McLaurin are both limited practice this week.
Well, limited means they're questionable.
Yeah, but at least they're trending. So they're both limited, I think.
Okay.
Today's practice is the most important. I don't know what they did today.
Right. I'm taking Washington the over.
Terry said that he's ready to roll Monday.
Okay.
Oh, and they get the extra day as well. Then that makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. He said to reporters today, I believe, or yesterday, that he expects to play. And
Tony hit a home. Communist.
Good for him. Yeah, McLaurin and Debo both practiced for the second straight day. Both full participants in practice again today. So they're on track. Both of them sound like they're playing. Cool. So that's going to help out Mariota, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm taking the Chiefs, and I'm taking the over as well. The Chiefs, like you said, they're rolling and they're picking up steam right now, and you know they're getting all their guys back too. So at the end of the day, that again, can't pick against the Chiefs because they're still the Chiefs. Even though I think the Chiefs have like one of the worst against the spread records there is. I think they're like 6-38 or something like that against the spread or whatever it is. I know it's horrible. It's not that. Don't quote me on it, but I know it's horrible.
That sounds like Mike with the over-unders.
Yeah, but I don't
know. What are you talking about?
You're doing well this year.
Yeah, you're doing good. Yeah, you're all doing good, Mr. 16 and 14s.
That's over 500.
Hey, still on the pluses.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think everybody gave theirs. I'm on Kansas City. I'm on the over. Mike, you're on Commanders and over. Matt, you're on Kansas City and under. Correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. That wraps up our
Who did you take last night, Matt?
San Diego and the over.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
snuck that in after they were up 14 points already.
No, I show you I picked San Diego. Here's my college. You need my college pick.
No, we're not there yet. Because me or you, Matt, have not picked a defensive touchdown yet.
Oh, right. Contrary move prayer.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I got mine, so I'll go ahead. I'm going to take the Colts.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I like that picture. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts. Hey,
I'm taking. Oh, go ahead. I'm
next
taking
year.
the Bengals.
All right, Bengals. I'm taking next year, right? Can't pick the same team twice
Oh, good one.
I like that.
for defensive
We should
touchdowns.
also do a elimination pool then for us, three of us.
I like that too.
All right, we got a lot of things to work on then. Okay. Yes, we are going to get to college, but before we do that, Sunday is National Tight End Day.
That's your
And
favorite holiday.
Relax, buddy. Okay.
yeah,
That's your favorite holiday, buddy.
so being how
This
that
is
it
like
is,
Christmas, guys. This is like Christmas Day.
oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's Christmas and
I remember-
Thanksgiving for you.
I remember we used to have Vaseline Friday. So I mean that was the best thing. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this is like Thanksgiving and Christmas for you. You get Thanksgiving turkey and Christmas hams all in one pants.
It's a gift that keeps on giving, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
You get pork and stuffing. You're good.
yeah, yeah. You get to stuff it in. So on National Tight End Day, a 4-leg parlay anytime touchdown with
Hold on. I'm gonna write this one down.
okay
Okay.
Let's go.
with Tucker.
The kicker?
No,
Green Bay.
not the
No, I'm
kicker.
kidding.
Not
That's
the
funny.
kicker. You.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling you
That's
Tucker
funny.
the fucker.
Tucker the fucker.
Yeah. Goddard.
Okay.
Tyler Warren.
Ooh, tight ends. Let's go.
And
Okay.
Ferguson.
Ferguson. I love Ferguson.
That is a 4-leg parlay on National Tight Ends Day that I will be setting up.
And my friend,
I don't know what the odds are on it. I don't know what the odds are on it at the moment because it's Friday. I usually won't see those odds until about Saturday. Sometimes they'll give odds on some of these guys. Sometimes they won't. Especially
I got news for you. 4
Randall.
anytime tight end touchdowns is going to pay a lot. So
I'll tell you
just
what,
a
Tell you
lot.
right now, real quick.
What's that?
I'll tell you right now what it would be.
I was gonna say I'm getting ready to put one together here to see what it is.
I can't do it on my phone or else I'd lose you guys. I gotta wait.
Tucker's plus 165.
That seems light.
Well, that's because he scores touchdowns.
Good point.
Tyler Warren is plus 115.
That's crazy. That's not value.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible, actually.
Ferguson is plus 170. And who's the last one? Goddard. Goddard is a plus 175 for a total of plus 4,130, 4,130. So, yeah.
I still think it's short though.
$10 gets you about $400.
It's a lot.
Hey, nothing to sneeze at. I just put it in. So
I like it.
Yeah, $10 at you 305.57. That's not bad.
no,
That's
No,
not bad at all.
no. I mean, I stopped putting on the $5 and $10 on it just because it isn't worth it. I start putting $1 on it. So $1 for $41.
That's hell. Can't beat that.
400% profit right there, buddy.
Right.
So, all right. So with that being said, we are finished with our Sunday slate. Going and moving on to our Saturday slate. Matt, before you give me your super dog, I will tell you ours, but let's run down the slate. At noon, we have number 8, Ole Miss, going to play number 13, Oklahoma. These spreads are a lot different than what we had in the NFL. So, Ole Miss is going to get 5.5. The over-under is set at 54.5. I am on Ole Miss and the over. Mike is on Oklahoma and the under.
I'm going to split the both of these and go Oklahoma and the over.
Okay.
I like that.
Mike and Matt on Oakley. And me and you are on the over. Okay, game number 2. This is 3:30 game. Number 15 Missouri going to number 10 Vanderbilt, where they're going to have college game day. Vanderbilt is giving 2.5, and the over/under is set at 51.5. Mike and I are both on Missouri, and Mike and I are both on the over.
I'm going to say the same. I'll go Missouri and over in that game. They were interviewing one of Vanderbilt's offensive tackles for this week. I saw it yesterday. Dude's a beast. He pancaked 2 guys on the same play. Did you see that play?
No.
I haven't seen the play, but these Vanderbilt looks good. They look good, but I'm going to take the inexperience. I'm going to take the inexperience of them being in any type of winning situation, and bake on that for them to kind of crumble under this pressure that they're probably feeling at this moment. The next game is a 3:30 game. This is against 2 unranked opponents, but they're both 5-2 and 3-1 in the Big Ten. Minnesota goes to Iowa to play Iowa. The Hawkeyes are giving 8.5 to Minnesota. The over/under is set at 39.5. I am on Minnesota with the points. I am on the under. Mike is on Iowa and laying the points, and he's on the over.
I'm with you, Chaz. Minnesota under.
Minnesota under, yes. Mike also took the defensive touchdown for Iowa. We don't have to do this one, but Mike felt inclined to go ahead and give himself a chance to try and catch up, so to speak.
No, that doesn't even count. I just think I honestly think they're going to score a defensive touchdown. That doesn't count. If I get it, that's great. I'm not putting it in our stats.
Okay.
I just think that they're going to get them.
Okay, well, it's going to be great. I love when you're wrong and it doesn't count for anything.
That's right.
So it's like a double whammy. All right, 7:30 game. Probably one of the bigger games that's going to be highlighted this weekend. Number 3 Texas A&M going to Death Valley to play LSU. Number 20. LSU is going to get 2.5 at home. Over/under is set at 48.5. I am on Texas A&M and the over. Mike is on LSU and the under.
I'm on LSU here and the under as well. I think in this game, I think it's SEC baby. Play it up, football. Play some defense. SEC football under. LSU under for me.
Okay, and with that being said, Super Dogs are as follows. Mike is taking UCLA, taking on number 2 Indiana. UCLA is getting 25.5. I am on Oklahoma State, who's taking on number 14 Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State is getting 38.5, baby.
Golly, that's crazy. The money line on that game is just your mortgage. They win the game outright, you get your house paid for. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take one of my favorite mascots. I don't know what the mascot is. I just think their name is cool. So I'm taking the Zips this weekend, getting 10 points on the road.
I was about to say, Buffalo. What college is named the Wainers?
Yeah. It's the Johnny Richards. No, I'll take Akron plus the 10.
All right, where is
Buffalo? It's really windy and nasty there this weekend. So yeah,
Akron.
And I really like Akron special teams game. I think they're really good on special teams. Mike would know stuff about special teams. He's a special teams player himself.
Damn straight.
Special teams, special plays.
Oh, the special teams.
Akron.
Mama said, I can have anybody I want to.
Buffalo. 10.5.
I'm an expert water drinker.
My goodness. So just to give you a little bit of insight here, Matt, last week you took Coastal Carolina against App State. Coastal Carolina was getting 10.5, and they beat App State outright 45-37, which gave you 23.5 points to add to your total.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Got the money.
Son of a bitch. So you're at the top of the leaderboard here with 76.5 points. Mike took Louisville, who upset number 2 Miami on Friday night. Is that right? The Friday night?
Yeah.
And
Friday night.
they won outright 24-21. And they were getting 13.5. So he got 21.5 points, but brought him up to 60.
Damn.
And I took Michigan State against Indiana, who lost, but they were getting 27.5, which gave me 7.5 points, baby.
Hit a $5 bet for 41, Matt, on that Oregon Super Dog last week.
Listen, I'm playing all your college plays this week. I got money down my account, bitches. I'm ready to go. So, and see, here's the thing about that is we should change our heading to our show to the money line monster because we don't even need 10 points, 12 points. Hell no. Plus 1,200, plus 1,400. Let's go. Give me the dips this week outright in Buffalo.
So here you go. In college, Matt, you're on top. 55% for your against the spread. Okay, so your ATS is 55%. Me and Mike shut the fuck up. Me and Mike, me and Mike are tied at 48%. Okay. Over unders. Mike is killing us 64%.
Wow, that's insane.
64%, Matt.
64%.
That was your average in high school too. How did you get those numbers to be the same?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Matt, you're 42% on over unders.
That was my average in high school.
Yeah. I'm playing golf over here because I'm at 30%.
What?
Yes.
No, that's not possible.
I'm telling you, it's
You're
possible.
30%?
I am at 30%, fellas. 30%.
Wow.
Yeah, I am 10 for 23. Or I should say I'm 10 for 33. I'm 10 for 33. I'm at 30%. So to date.
Tremendous.
Yeah, just in college.
Me and you are 3 different. I'm happy. Okay.
Yeah. So just in college.
I just wanted to part. I think I just squirted myself by accident. I hit 30%. I'm sorry, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
I might be 30% picking games over here, okay, but I'm 100% at making kids.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's it. So overall standings for college, just for college. Mike's leading the way 56%.
Huh?
Matt 48%. And I am at a whopping 39%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're right there. We're definitely living up to expectations.
Yep.
For a bunch of monkey picking games.
So that's out of a total number of 66 college picks.
Can I tell you that I bet you that if we started to incorporate maybe props, because when I do all my research, because I do a lot of the DraftKings, we talk about it, it's more prop based. It's not so much. I don't really focus so much on who's winning and who's losing. I'm looking at players in advantageous spots that are going to hit overs. That are, again, that's what I'm focusing on. I feel like, and I do pretty well for the most part, I think. So
Matt,
I feel like I'd be better with that.
yeah,
You know,
I've showed you pretty much all my bets, and you see them. I'm taking a guy
Yeah,
over.
you guys are good at that stuff, man.
Huh?
You guys are very good at that.
Yeah, I mean, you take guys that are like three and plus three touch or plus three receptions and plus 50 yards receiving, or those types of things, those tier things where it doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter who wins and loses,
Right.
just matters on what they do on the field. I like those bets now more than I ever did, because before it was just strictly spreads and over unders and money lines. Now I'm getting a little bit more deeper into the weeds, and going back and looking at how many times has this guy got over 40 yards receiving. If he's hitting that plateau 6 out of the last 8 games, I'm more inclined to push the envelope and get a better odd at 40 plus yards receiving, even though he's only hit it at 6 out of 8, but he still hits at 6 out of 8. So my trend is still that he's going to hit that. And that's
the alt lines, I think, like you're doing, you can find real value in those alt lines. And I think the reason why, also remember, is Vegas, they know what the hell they're doing.
right.
So when they set a line at 56 yards, how many times do you see where you're in the fourth quarter and he's sitting at 48 yards and you're trying to get that extra reception? Happens all the time. So
Wow.
if you can alt line what they're doing the work for at, let's say, 20%, okay, either way, I think you create a huge advantage. And if you could put a couple of those together, you're still going to get plus odds in your bet when it comes to, when you're putting 2 or 3 of those together. That sounds like a smart way to go. Let them do the work. And then you're, again, just trying to pick up a little more guys that are in some advantageous spots. And those are the guys where you use the 20% rule. Let's say I just made something up, but the 20% rule where you want to go under, you want to go over, but at least you can, alt line what you feel you have a good sense on. And then again, you in Vegas align, and then you take a little advantage, one way or the other. I think it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nope. Those are fun to kind of string together a couple of those and see some good odds on that, and just fun.
I never looked.
Yeah, it's just fun to keep along, keep up
Right.
with during the day,
Yeah.
And especially like when it's when you're doing like Sunday night, like for example. Probably end up doing Tucker for like 2+ catches or 3+ catches, depending on what the odds are. If it's 2+, minus 1100, I'm not going to put it on that. I'll put it on for 3+, and that'll change from minus 1100 to probably around like minus 360 or 270, which I'm okay with that. But now we're talking about. I'm not just doing that though. I'm talking about compounding other things, like DK over. All
so let me ask you, I don't know this stuff. I'm asking you in general, honestly. You can make your own lines on DK and FanDuel? Alternate?
You can alternate different receptions, yards, receiving plus rushing, just rushing. So you can do a lot of things. Now, there's some things that you can't compound together. Like, for example, I don't know why, but you can't compound 1+ touchdown and if somebody's going to throw an interception or not. For some reason, they won't let you do it.
Okay.
Interesting. But you can also take kickers over under 6.5 points, over under 9.5 points. You can take kickers in that aspect.
He dicker the kicker every week. He get me 13 to 14 every week, I swear.
Well, you're talking about fantasy points. I'm talking about actual points.
Actual points, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you 2 things to be conscious of with the bets, because I found this on my site. I'm sure it's on all the sites. Is that they do correlation against you, which means if you're chasing a narrative in a particular, let's say, same game parlay, which you see everywhere, they are advertising same game parlay. The reason being is because if you're taking 3 overs in the same game, let's say a regular parlay at all minus 110 odds, okay, just across the board. 3 team, you get about what, 5 to 1 on average. when you correlate and you're taking over for, let's say, CeeDee Lamb's yardage, and you want to go over for Pickens' yardage, and then you want to take over in the total in that game, you're not going to get 5-1 anymore. You're going to get like 3.5-1, because they figure that if you're going to get the Pickens and you're going to get the Lamb, you're also going to probably get the over. And they correlate those odds in a way where you're not getting true payouts. So check that and see. You'll see there's no value in those types of bets. How you fix that, and I've done this, is and I don't know if you can do it on those sites, I could do it on Hard Rock, is if you just take one player and under, or one number in some way, and go the opposite of your correlation, it fucks up their algorithm. And it spits it out to a point where the return you get doesn't match the probability of it happening. I'll repeat that again. If you're getting with the correlation on the 3-team parlay, let's say 3.5-1, a 4-team parlay, you'd get, let's say, 10-1. Well, if you continue the correlation, you won't get that. But if you took that minus against your 3 pluses, guess what? You won't now get 10-1, you get 12-1. It'll flip the algorithm completely. And work with it on the numbers. That's number one. Side bet, I had another angle of it, and I forgot what it was, but I'll think of it as we're talking. But that's very interesting on that. Make sure you're very aware of how they manipulate the odds. Okay, here's the second one. I saw this on totals. Let's say you're doing the alt lines on totals, and let's say a game totals 41, and you want to buy it up or down. Let's say you want to buy it up to 43. They may offer you the same odds at 43 and at 43.5. Make sure you click up to the next one you're set on to see if it changes the odds. A lot of times that half point doesn't change the odds at all. So why would you not take that half point in that situation? I've learned it on my sites, probably on yours too. So Chaz, when you're doing your alt lines, when you settle on a number, go one up, go one down, just to see how the odds affect it. And I guarantee they're not going to change. They'll be about the same. So always take the advantage. Take the half point if you're betting to the over, or go on the under, take it the other way. But be aware of those two things, because I've found those consistently on Hard Rock down here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. No, I didn't win on what was that, Thursday night. I didn't win, but I was pretty close, and I wasn't off by much. But I'll tell you what I was and what I did, and then you can kind of see where my head's at when I'm doing some of these. So I missed. That was 4 legs that I missed. That one was just a normal. All right, this one I missed. I missed 1 leg on this one. Okay, this one was from last weekend, and the odds were plus 1253. So I had Daniel Jones over 200. Daniel Jones 1+ touchdowns. Herbert 1+ touchdown. Herbert 200+. Bo Nix 200+. Jackson Dart 150+. Bo Nix and Jackson Dart 1+ passing touchdown. Goff 200+. Baker 200+. Goff 2 passing touchdown. Baker 1 passing touchdown. I missed Goff on 2 passing touchdowns.
Wow.
So I'm not doing over unders. I'm doing pluses. So 1+, 2+. Now if I hit 1+, I still hit. It doesn't have to be over 1. Otherwise, I can just take 1.5. Where there actually is that line in there for, Baker Mayfield 1.5. And then, they give a total for that, or under 1.5 total touchdowns, which you need to get over 1.5. He needs to throw for 2 in order for you to hit. Right. But if you only care for that 1, then don't take the 1.5. Or, if you only think that he's going to throw for 1 touchdown, then you can probably compound that bet with under 1.5, but 1+ touchdown. And it's just, it basically means the same thing, but you're getting paid out on 2 lines.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's definitely things that you can do in here that were, like, Matt, just like you were saying, you play around with a couple things and you select one thing and it doesn't really look like it does anything, and then you select something else and it's like, well, that was a big difference. Yeah, there's been times I've played around with that.
Huh. I haven't gone that deep into it, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if
know?
you just pay attention, just let's just say just for your fantasy team, you look at, hey, my kicker gets me 13.5 points almost every week, 14 points almost every week, right? You can go on and you can do a parlay bet with, uh, two kickers or something like that, and kicker the dicker uh, from the Chargers who just played. He typically has anywhere between, I'm making numbers up, 6.5 to 9 points, right? So, he's kicking 2 field goals and he's getting an extra point,
Right.
typically somewhere around that range. And again, you could either go under or over that. If they're playing against, we thought was going to be a good team against Minnesota. So I probably would have taken an under on that. I would have lost that bet, but you can easily take an over on that, you know, um, and that type of way, so on a fantasy standpoint, it's not going to make a difference whether you do that on FanDuel, but when you look at it and you see, like, what does he normally do? Okay, he usually kicks 2 field goals, he makes both of them, and he kicks 2 extra points. So he's getting 8 points a game, right? So then you can go into FanDuel and actually find that line, whether it's over or under, and you know bet on that.
That's
And
interesting.
there's all kind of cool little specials in there too. Like, I'll give you an example for one as well. Um, like, they do these game specials, and again, they're so outrageous, but they're just fun. Put a buck on them. They're a scratch off ticket, basically. You know what I mean? Um, so let's see if I can get a game. It should be.
The biggest thing I think is just to try and not focus on the generic bets, the sides, the totals, those
Right.
sorts of things, because
Yeah.
you're following the trends, and especially those same game parlays, like I said, even when you do hit, because of how they manipulate the payouts structures through the correlation, you're still not winning what you should. So you're not only winning a difficult bet, but you're getting paid less than what you should be getting value-wise out of it. It's just not the way to go. The guys we were talking about on the show this week, I listened to that he only bets plus bets, and he finds value in those plus bets. Now, he bet 4 bets over the weekend. He went 2-2, but guess what? Turned a profit because he bets plus bets. That's his MO. So you can go 2-2 and make money in that situation. You can go 500 and still turn a profit. And there's no way to do that. You almost have to go 60% to turn a profit. And think about that. You have to be 20% better in order to turn a profit. And just in terms of how you bet. Okay, not even what you bet, how you bet. So there's ways to be smarter about this whole approach. If you're in it for the long game, then certainly there's better ways to go about it.
It's interesting.
So there's not a lot of value in that one.
My that hasn't posted yet, but I think the game just ended. Oh no, they're in the 7th inning.
It's 13-4, I think, right?
No, it's 11-4 now,
11-4.
but the game literally just ended. Bet struck out to end the game, 11-4. Toronto. I like Toronto. I picked them to win the series too.
That's because Joe Carter's won the MVP again.
I'm just not rooting for the Dodgers in any capacity whatsoever. Just not. So, anyway, all right, fellas, I'm gonna wrap it here.
Okay.
Yep, we're just wasting airspace at this point.
Yeah.
It's good airspace though.
Yeah,
it was good. Pretty. I didn't know about all that stuff, so it's pretty.
So here you go. Here's a Mike. Here's a game special. Okay.
Yeah.
For, again, I would put $1 on this because it's just $1, and it basically it's a scratch off ticket to me, right? So plus 1,200. This is a plus 1,200 bet, just one bet. Both C.J. Stroud and Mac Jones to complete 25 plus passes.
Wow! Really?
Yep, it's plus 1,200.
Why not?
Buck. I mean, for me,
Right.
it would be. No, I don't.
Wow.
I typically don't do anything like that. I mean, there's other bets in here where you can it's not a parlay, but it's one of the bets where like you can say, like, for example, we'll take Denver and Dallas as an example, where you can say that you bet that CeeDee Lamb or Cam Sutton will have a touchdown in that game, and it'll be like plus 300 or something like that. And those are just simple things that you can do too, you know.
Right.
But yeah, there's all different kind of things. I mean, if you dive deep enough into it and you just play around, I mean, you'll find all kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it with like I I like to see odds on like anytime TV scores.
Right.
For like an obscure tight end like Noah Fant got against the Bengals for Steelers. Like, I always like to see what the line is on those, because sometimes those lines are outrageous. I think Fant was like, who's the second tight end in Green Bay who's been catching a lot of passes? No, not Kraft, but Fitzsimmons, I think. Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in Green Bay. His line was like plus 482 or something. I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
how about
Kraft was questionable status? He got a touchdown, which is insane. You know.
How about the one that Matt called a couple weeks ago? Tongues. He was like, what?
Oh,
plus 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's those instances too. But yeah, with that being said, we want to thank everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop those comments, share it with your friends. Come on and join the team. Come on and over to our Discord at Sports Dummies and join that team as well. You can see where we post all of our picks, and we even post our betting picks as well, like we just talked about here with our 4-leg parlay that we'll post in there. And if Matt, you truly did 900, well, if you won 900, then you're going to post that so we can see it to believe it. But we can do all that. And
827.78.
So he did. Okay. We want to see the evidence.
How much, Matt?
827.78.
No. How much was your bet for?
75.
Okay.
So you threw in some cash. Okay.
Yeah. You threw down some bills in order to get some bills. So that's okay. You got to spend money to make money, everybody.
You make that's 120% you won. So
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good.
We are not your financial advisors. Do not take any advice from us. We're what we are advertised. We are Sports Dummies. So with that being said, good night, everybody.
See you later.
Peace, boys.
See ya.